On this episode of DC On Screen, Jason and I tumbled down a strange, short path of DC news, saying goodbye to Two-Face, finding Aquaman 2 delayed yet again, hearing vague rattlings of a Blue Beetle sequel, terrifying statements that Matthew Vaughan has been in talks with James Gunn, and updates on Keanu's Constantine 2. But then, did we crack the code? Have we encountered secretly sentient symbiotic switches? Are abandoned Walmart lot weaves wicked? Are extensions of a powerful extraterrestrial mind puppeting our own? From Trump's fearsome flop top to Clinton's malicious merkin, we delve into this hard-hitting issue of alien invasion by way of weave, because news was light.
Salutations, my fellow food lovers. This is Chef Mark here from Johnny's Italian Steakhouse, and I want to tell you about our filet Oscar. This premium filet is topped with Johnny's lump crab cake, grilled asparagus, and our signature béarnaise sauce. But the start to any great night always begins with a killer appetizer, and I recommend trying out our jumbo pan-seared sea scallops with Brussels sprout slaw tossed in Johnny's hot bacon dressing. It is so good. I know that you will love my filet Oscar as much as I love preparing it, so come to Johnny's tonight. Johnny's Italian Steakhouse, Village Point Shopping Center, Omaha.
Welcome into DC On Screen, the podcast bringing you news and reviews of the DC Multiverse on film and television since 2015. I am your host, David C. Robertson, and with me this episode, back in the saddle, my old chum, Jason Goss.
Hello, and please keep that false start.
Why?
Had I been drinking, it would have made me spit it. I did my best to withhold the laughter, just to let you get back into the flow, but it really, I don't know.
Yeah.
It got me. It was a good bad take.
Yeah, I just, I don't know, my brain went away for a second, and I was like, ugh.
Just, my name is Dad. It was bad.
It was really bad.
Yeah. I loved it.
You see, kids, this is why you listen to this show, because we have no ego. We are willing to show you all the times we mess up. Now, usually, it's because we're too lazy to edit.
Yes. But a fine example of what not to do.
A fine example. I do wonder how many people, tune in and hear, some minor screw up and just go, these guys aren't professional. And I'm like, yeah, no, we're not.
No, we're not.
No.
I would love for that to be our pull quote in general, by the way. A fine example of what not to do. Just that's how we advertise our podcast from now on. Business card with DC On Screen in the front, and our names, and on back. Fine example of what not to do.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to wind up on TikTok, this very statement.
I guess wasting people's time is another fine example of what not to do. If you want to get started, I'll step out of the way. I'll homer it into the bushes.
Yeah, so first of all, want to thank the patrons. DC On Screen is the show. I can't get around the brain farts. Patreon.com/DC On Screen is where you want to go. $1 a month gets you every episode without the ads, and $5 a month gives you that plus whatever the hell else we decide to put up. I want to mess with Patreon and figure stuff out because they are changing so much stuff, and now you can go and you can join for free, apparently, and just be part of the community and get updates and stuff. And that's really dope. I dig that. So if you guys want to go check that out and see if that's the thing that you can do, because from what I understand, that's a thing you can do.
I think so. I got to catch up on that too.
All right, let's get to the news. Sad news right off the top, man. Richard Mole, Night Court star, man. Talking about Bull from Night Court, but mentioned here because he was so much in DC animation. He was most memorably Harvey Dent and Two-Face in Batman the Animated Series, and but he also played Lou Moxon and Two-Face in the Batman the Brave and the Bold. He was Mr. Moore on Smallville. He was Java and Mr. Braddock on Justice League, Crick on the Zeta Project, Emperor Spooge on Superman the Animated Series. His voice is out there in the DC multiverse quite a bit, and he was one of my favorites as well. Just I always liked seeing that guy pop up in places. So I'm sad. He was 80. They didn't say how he died, but I'm assuming he died from being 80.
Yeah, I mean, that'll do it at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you, though. There's a whole lot of that crew's come and gone. Sad amount.
I mean, hell, I feel like half of them were gone before the damn show, while the show was on, like, because they had the lady that played Selma. Actually, her name was Selma in real life. She died after the second season. And then the lady that replaced her, she died at the end of the second season.
That's
It's like, good Lord.
You hate for that to be so rote that it's funny. But yeah, at some point you're like, Jesus Christ, are you serious?
It kind of is, though.
Yeah.
It kind of is. I mean, they were older ladies from old-timey showbiz.
I mean, yeah, it's I get that. Like if I were doing a casting couch thing for like a guy who's about to die, who's on his deathbed, I'd probably have to pick a certain demographic.
Well, like the creator of the show.
I probably couldn't do it for seasons at a time with the same guy who's about to die. So a couple of them are going to slip off.
Yeah. I can't remember the guy's name. Something like Judd Weege or something like that. But the creator of Night Court. And he and Harry Anderson were such a big fan of like old school Hollywood that they kept bringing in these old school people and kind of doing those kind of, I mean, good God. That's what happens when you keep like, oh yeah, let's grab the lady that worked with Sid Caesar. Oh, she died. Okay. Like we had her smoking 3 cigarettes every scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. She didn't make it.
All right. On to more DC news here. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom delayed again.
Good. I didn't want that start date. I mean that. Like dead serious. Did not want to be fucking around with Aquaman during Christmas.
Oh, I mean, you still are going to be. It's instead of opening Wednesday, December 20th, it will now debut December 22nd.
God damn it.
Giving it a normal 3-day opening weekend. No big releases are debuting December 20th or December 22nd. So they are trying to get it away from Wonka, which came out December 15th and is also a big Warner Brothers movie. So they're trying to get it away from... They don't want to compete with themselves.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I want to get away from Wonka. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked at it enough to be like, no, but you know what? The guy playing Timothy Chalamet or whatever, I know people love him from The Dune. I've never seen that one, but he's playing Bob Dylan in a biopic, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of rooting for the kid, so.
No, he's probably going to be great at that. It's not his fault I don't want to see Wonka. I don't like that whole franchise. I'm just not it's never drawn me.
I really like the Gene Wilder one.
I've seen it once as a kid, probably in commercial syndicated form on Comedy Central or some crap, but I moved on since then. Never
I mean, the truth is, I love Gene Wilder.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I didn't like the Johnny Depp one.
Didn't see it.
Yeah, James Wan says, I don't know if it's pronounced Topo or Topo, but he says Topo is a real character in this one. In the comic, he's a big part of Arthur's life, a sidekick, pet, friend. So we're leaning into that. I love the relationship Jason has built with his octopus. It was really fun to watch him act with Topo. Sometimes we would have an actor standing in by muppeting a goofy stick puppet. Watching Jason play off of that was so funny. I think people are going to enjoy Arthur and Topo's relationship.
I just love that sentence. That made me happy. The relationship Jason has built with his octopus or whatever.
Yeah.
That made me very happy. All right.
Yeah.
I have nothing to contribute to that. That's those sentences cannot be improved. Or deterred.
Like actually, that is sadly the most exciting thing I've heard about Aquaman 2. Like that I was gonna go see it because we do the show and you gotta watch these things.
Oh yeah, but like same time I saw the trailer, I like it. I mean, I would be going to see this movie regardless of context because it looked fine. But yeah, I'm just gonna be imagining Momoa now with a basically some dude playing hand puppets with him. Yeah, Momoa trying not to look at him.
The other day I was talking to somebody who
just fantastic.
brought up the idea that they're like, yeah, well, Jason Momoa should have never been Aquaman. He should have always been Lobo. And I couldn't completely, I've liked what Jason Momoa's done okay with playing Aquaman. It's not my version of Aquaman. It's not my preferred version of Aquaman. But a strange idea. I was kind of thinking about it the other day. Like, who would I want to see play Aquaman? And a lot of people kind of, push towards like one of the Skarsgårds or something. Like, you want like a Chris Hemsworth type. And
big old Nordic looking dude.
It's never felt completely right in my head. And then I just had a brilliant idea. Alan Tudyk.
I see how the puppet got you there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because I'd never thought about a Skarsgård for Aquaman, but yes. Yeah. Whatever his name. Eric from True Blood would be fantastic. You're right.
Yeah, that's who I keep seeing people being like, oh my God. And I'm like, can we get friggin' Tudyk?
But
I would be fine with Tudyk.
Yeah, I can dig Tudyk.
He's not just funny, everybody.
He can do real things.
I know Joss Whedon's a dick, but watch Dollhouse.
Yeah, real shit there.
Jesus.
Yes, he can do real things, but he can also, flip it around and be funny real quick. So, I don't know. I think he's a steal, frankly.
Yeah. I do too.
I would draft him on my team.
So we got Angel Manuel Soto talking about the Blue Beetle sequel. We did an impressionistic approach in the title sequence, but for us, we want to let Kajda be able to tell us its story and to show us at the end of the day, the reach. Having that moment of Jaime helping Kajda, I can't say it,
sure,
take over the reach and liberate all the scarabs from the imperial yoke from that colonizing race is also the Latino story. Now, because of seeing some people on Twitter kind of pushing back on him even talking about a sequel, yes, the film was a flop. It made $129 million worldwide. It was a production budget of $104 million. It would have needed to make $200 million to make money. But there isn't full transparency on the streaming numbers. We don't know how much Blue Beetle has made or will make in home video sales leading up to the Christmas season. Some of that's probably at stake. I would suggest, if you want to see more Blue Beetle, go grab that Blu-ray. Go grab some VOD. That's all I'm saying.
I did my $20 worth.
Yeah. Whether he gets a proper sequel or not with Soto, he's in the DCU, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll get a proper sequel either, but I think he's going to get looped in. He's also, I hate the Blue Beetle, of all things, which is, one, a character that was going to be troublesome to, really get lifted up. Mm-hmm. And then also a movie that was way better than you and I certainly expected going in, just because it seemed...
That's right.
It seemed like it was just going to be pretty run-of-the-mill, right? And then...
Yeah. And it was slightly more than run-of-the-mill.
Yeah, I got there.
I was surprised.
Damn me, this is actually really...
This is actually
way more entertaining than I expected.
This is damn near upper mid.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It is what it is there. But yeah, it's a movie that kind of in a way never had a chance. So I'm not going to be deeply surprised if parts of that aren't just run by the numbers. Like if Gunn wanted to just grab that and say, you know what, buddy, come with me. Yeah, I know the numbers don't say anything, but you were fucked anyway.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
No one would blame him.
I'm pretty sure more people saw Cobra Kai.
Yeah. Yeah. For all those low numbers and for what it's worth, have you talked to many people that saw it that didn't enjoy it?
No.
Pretty high hit rate on the people who actually watched it.
Yeah, no. The people who watch it say that was pretty damn good. I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then there's people that's like, it's trash. And you're like, did you go see it? I'm not going to go see that trash.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
For the most part, the worst response I've seen to Blue Beetle is like, it was all right.
Yeah. Well, no, the worst reference I've seen is it's woke. And
no.
Immediately those people are written out of my life.
Yeah.
But
the worst response from people that I have any respect for. It's all right.
Yeah. Speaking of people I don't respect, Matthew Vaughan says DC has reached out. I'm not excited about this, by the way.
I'm gathering that so far.
Yeah.
Trying to catch up with you, but I'm gathering.
DC has reached out, and Gunn and Peter, we've been talking. Never say never. At the moment, I'm enjoying creating my own things. The franchise is in the best hands, so let's see what happens. Now, the reason I'm not terribly interested in, look, Matthew Vaughan, man, he's made some good shit, for real. Like, whatever it was, Layer Cake, I think he made that one, and what else? The Kingsman stuff, that. Yeah. Not bad stuff, got no problem with it. But what I don't like, what I'm not crazy about, is he said, Mark Millar, and I sat down and plotted out a 3-film trilogy, pitched it to Warner Brothers before Man of Steel. We pitched how to do a trilogy of Superman movies, and Warner said they weren't interested. That's as far as it went. He says, I think Donner nailed it. Wonder Woman worked very well because it was basically a Donner Superman film, but reimagined as Wonder Woman. I would have done a modern version of Donner. Our big idea was that Krypton doesn't blow up. It does eventually. The dad was right, but he got his timing wrong. When Superman is grown up, suddenly there's a mass exodus and all hell breaks loose. That was our main idea. Look, I loved Red Son. Mark Millar did that. That sounds like a terrible idea, specifically doing a modern version of Donner. I am so tired of Donner. I'm so tired of Donner.
Took me a second to realize you would start speaking.
Yeah. No, I am talking now.
Yeah.
I am sick of Richard Donner. I'm sick of a singular version of Superman being the only thing anybody wants to reference. It's just...
I'm still going through the Superman vs. Hollywood book, which is deeply good, by the way. But I never expected to know this much about Donner or the films. Mm-hmm. And then that was the other weird part about it. It was like Donner's a fraction, like a portion of that entire franchise.
Yeah.
That people remember. Like,
but you would think he created the damn thing.
Yeah, I know.
Like, and I like the Richard
Donner
Donner movie.
The other guy, and like the whole time they're talking about Lester, I can't stop thinking like, wait, he got replaced by the guy who did the Beatles films, and we don't think about this more.
Oh, there are some of us who think about it a lot.
This is your Roman Empire.
This is my Roman Empire. If you guys don't know what that is, there's been a meme going around where on TikTok and whatnot where people are like, women are asking men, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? And they keep answering, like 3 or 4 times a day, like a couple times a week.
Supposedly a daily thing.
Yeah, the idea being that apparently a lot of men, most men, think a whole hell of a lot about the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
I think about DC and Star Trek. That's what I think about. And, well, let's be honest. I think a lot about comedy.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot about sitcoms.
The joke I've heard the most in reference to it is the female version of the Roman Empire is Tom Holland's Umbrella Dance.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw that.
If you never have, please go back and watch that. He fucking kills. Absolutely slays that shit. Like, I definitely think about Tom Holland's Umbrella Dance more than the Roman Empire because he fucking killed, man.
Yeah, I think I saw it once or twice and I was like, that's fun, and moved on with my day.
Every time I've seen it, I'm like, when he does the little flop at the end where he just hits his, lands on his back. Jesus Christ, dancers are built differently than normal people. That would break me. I could do it if the, stretcher was available immediately and a team of people. It would break me. It literally break me.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, I couldn't do any of that shit, so I would pass away. Like, before I even hit the ground. Before I even hit the ground, my body would anticipate the impact and just wither.
And run. Holy snikes, his heart actually leapt out of his chest. It was gruesome. It ran away from the impact.
You bring it back, holy shnikes? What is that? Like Chris Farley and freaking Tommy Boy?
I genuinely don't know.
It had to be Tommy Boy. I don't think it was Black Sheep.
Probably Tommy Boy, yeah. I don't know. There's a bunch of little girls upstairs playing. Maybe that's walking back the mental wheel, I guess, a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
so no, for me, be 1992.
I like Richard Donner's Superman. I'm just tired of Richard Donner's Superman. I'm tired of everyone just doing Donner, and that's it. That's all. Like, whatever. I'm sure. I'm hoping Gunn, because I know he said Superman the movie was on his top 5 comic book movies of all time. I'm really hoping Gunn has the fortitude to strike out on his own a little bit with Superman, and not just do Donner because it's near and dear to him.
I think he will.
He better.
Or you're coming for him.
I'm not coming for him. But if anything has been proven, it is that DC fans are having none of it.
Yeah.
Like, they are not, if something isn't like God tier, they're not going to go see it. Like, we sick, y'all.
Which is
I'll go
strange
see all
because,
of it.
like, I don't think there's a nice consensus right now about what is God tier or what isn't.
No, there's not. There's not. And I think the measuring stick is not even necessarily for the DC fans. It is for the general audience. And if that Rotten Tomatoes, as much as I hate it, if that rating isn't up there on the critic side, they ain't going to see it.
I know. Which is fucked up because the audience score should mean more.
I agree.
And I typically agree with the audience score more.
But nobody...
If not more, well, I don't know. There's going to be outliers, but like definitely more.
Like, look, there is no one who actually thinks or who wants to believe I am as dumb as the audience. So everyone's like, oh, I'm a critic. I saw that was predictable, and I'll trust the critic score because I have nuanced opinions. And no, you just an audience. That's all it is. Like, the critic, you don't want to be a critic. The critics, they suck. They make decisions based on whether or not they got
swag
presents from Warner Brothers, and they make decisions based on, payoffs and whatnot. Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it's rough. It's also a deeply embedded system, but
it is.
We've infamously gone off on Rotten Tomatoes before.
Yes, we have. So, here's our last story for the week. I know, it's short.
It is a slow time, friends.
It is a slow time.
Well, I mean, it's also like, think about it. The only people that are supposed to go back to work right now are the people who do things quietly. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a bunch of people firing up Final Draft and updating it finally, but like, the actors are still just like having to chill and not do any promoting.
Well, hopefully, in the next week, we'll have some real news, because I think I saw Jeff Snyder saying that everyone's like popping the bubbly essentially, because while they're sitting down to have conversations with the actors, this with SAG over the weekend to try to get it done, they're saying it's pretty much a done deal, and they're just kind of going through the formality of it. So hopefully the SAG strike will be over. We already know the Writers Guild strike is over. So, and we've already reported on the fact that James Gunn says he's waiting for that actor strike to be over so that he can start dropping out some more casting choices, some more announcements.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think that will be kind of a wellspring once it actually hits.
Yeah, it might very well be.
I am curious though, because this is like that same move they tried on the writers. This is our last and final offer. I mean, not if they don't say yes. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen that it's the last and final offer. It's just like, here's the formality. We've pretty much agreed.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's true. I don't generally trust scoopers, but I'm just so damn desperate for it to be true.
I would like it to be true. Go get him, Fran.
All right. Well, let's look at that last piece of news here. We got the director of the original Constantine with Keanu Reeves saying Constantine 2 got obviously held up by the writer's strike. And we had to jump through a bunch of hurdles to get control of the character again because other people had control of the Vertigo stuff. We have control. Keanu and Akiva Goldsman and I have been in meetings, and I have been hashing out what we think the story is going to be, and there's more meetings of those that have to happen. The script has to be written, but really hoping that we get to do Constantine 2 and make it a real R-rated version.
Hell yeah.
He says, one of the biggest things for me about the first one was we followed, per Warner Brothers, the rules to make a PG-13 movie in terms of violence, blood, language, sexuality. But the ratings board gave us a hard R based on their gray zone of intensity. And my big regret was that we have an R-rated movie that's really a PG-13 movie. And if I was going to have to go have an R, I would have really made an R-rated movie. I would have made it much scarier, much more violent, and I would have really made an R-rated movie. So, yeah. I'm glad this isn't
We're gonna
dead.
fucking do this fucking shit. Like,
I'm glad this isn't dead. I mean, I'm assuming, wouldn't it be crazy if Gunn was like, by the way, this isn't going to be in Elseworlds, we're going to put this in the universe.
Oh,
What
hell
the
yeah.
hell?
hell yeah.
What the hell? So that would make, technically, Constantine the first DCU movie.
Which would be funny.
That
Also,
would be hilarious.
what's your guess? John Wick here?
John Wick hair?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I don't have any expectations.
don't think I've seen him cut that hair in a long time.
I was more thinking about the beard.
Yeah. I think has he shaved? No, in John Wick he's typically clean shaven, I think.
Yeah. I'm like, dare he shave and show us the jowls?
No.
I don't think he will.
No, I don't think so.
His, he's a man of a certain age, no shame. He's a lot older than I am, and he's a lot more handsome than I am. I don't really have jowls so much as I have a sack around my face, So.
My jowls aren't so much. They're just kind of a jowl. They've joined.
Yeah, it's like a kangaroo pouch.
They've joined there at the bottom.
I look like a frog this in heat. That's what's.
Like a permanently startled pufferfish. Is under my chin.
Yeah, so that's all the news I have, and I don't know. There's not much else to talk about.
Fair enough. It is. It's light. It is what it is.
It is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry this has got to be a short episode, but it looks like that's what's happening. Like I said before, patreon.com/DC on screen. I'm fairly certain you can now sign up for free to be a part of the community and get updates and whatnot when we put them out. That would be really cool, especially in this day and age when, Twitter sucks and is taking away everything, and Facebook has been sucking and taking away everything that we can use to talk to our listeners. So, if you want to jump on a Patreon, become part of the community over there. Damn it, we need a community over there.
That's true.
We've got like listeners, we've got, amazing patrons, but it's quiet.
It is. I would like a safe place to land in some ways.
Yeah.
These things only last so long, though.
Just a light like a fly.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny they come and go. What is it, like Black Monday, I think the AOL users used to call it? For when the bulletin boards got flooded with AOL. No, it was bulletin boards got flooded with AOL users once that got live. I want to say it was Black Monday, but they used the reference to Black Tuesday though.
Black Friday?
Definitely not that.
Oh,
I don't know how that got named Black Friday. I don't know why that's black. Probably because the retailers are in the black after it's over.
I have no idea. I've read it, I looked it up at some point, but I don't remember now.
I need a coffee book, like a coffee table book of why the fuck phrases exist.
Yeah, I got to see an online argument a couple days ago of people arguing that the term "in a coon's age" was whether it was racist or not. And good God,
Does it reference a raccoon?
yeah, it was because of a myth that raccoons are specifically long-lived.
Oh.
But because after that, the racial slur came about.
That makes sense.
Then it started to be considered not okay to say. But I'm like, but that wouldn't make sense because statistically, black people live way shorter than we do. Like that isn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I mean, I get it.
Yeah. I don't know how that one transfers. Although I'll give him credit on it just sounds weird.
It does sound weird.
I've been telling you for a long time that like mighty white of you. I don't know where that phrase comes from, but it just feels like it's racist.
Oh, I think that one is.
I genuinely don't. I think I even tried to look it up a couple times, and
Yeah.
I couldn't pin down where the hell it came from. It just, that one doesn't feel right, man.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, but some of those are real fun to look into because what. Oh yeah, okay, fine. It didn't start out that way, but what do you got to do?
But then it gets adopted.
Yeah. Once it gets adopted, there's no hope.
Yeah, it's over with.
Just like with children.
Yeah.
What's
Like children.
That's terrible.
Certain shades of red. Or Jesus. It's over now.
Thank you for listening to DC on Screen.
Worst ending ever. Thank you. Very proud.
Oh my God. You can find us at dconscreen.com. You can find us over on X. We're also on Threads and Instagram.
I could feel you hurt when you said X.
I did.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be back next week with a ton of news.
Would be nice. I think there will be a deluge, but yeah. Right now it's a what's French for not a fucking deluge?
I think you just said it.
Yeah.
I believe it's called a certain I don't know what.
A drought.
A drought.
I guess. Desert.
We'll look back on this time through tear-stained glasses and remember the news famine of 23.
Where we wasted, just
Great
just
Suppression,
counting
they
now,
called it.
where we wasted 34 and a half minutes of our listeners' lives.
We're going to rename this podcast The Dust Hole.
Yeah. Or we'll just rename it. How do you spell that? It's like wish with no I.
We're going to rename this podcast The Cracks in Barren Land.
Yeah. I legit ran across a what are those little the rolling things? Tumbleweed
Yeah.
the other day.
And you tried to smoke it.
No. I tried to save
Oh,
it.
thank God.
Legitimately ran across one of those living in one of the most temperate climates in the world, and I didn't know what the fuck it was doing there. I don't think it did either. We looked at each other confused.
Yeah.
I mean,
mean-
we're in the southeast. Like the pine trees don't even have to try. They can just hang out all year.
I mean,
Not
I
even
saw
a
one
battle.
I saw one in a Walmart parking lot the other day, but it turned out it was just McDonald's bags and weaves.
That happens. It's gotten us all.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell is that? Some kind of a tumbleweed rock. And I get closer. I'm like, wait, I see a McDonald's logo.
Yep.
What's that holding those bags together? Oh, someone lost a weave or two.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Those things aren't terribly cheap.
No. They're that's always what confused me, because you'll just, in real life here, stumble across a random weave that's just chilling somewhere on the ground. And every time I think, like, that's like $50.
It's not even like that random. It's Walmart.
Oh, I mean, at Walmart, that might be a thing. But, like, I mean,
I feel like people go there to have fights and pull each other's weaves out.
they're just in the road. At GLS, where we used to work, was like a giant plumbing warehouse. There's just one in the back. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why. I have no idea how I got there. It's a giant industrial section of Birmingham. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, that would be strange.
Yeah. And yet there it was, in the gravel, by all the pipes.
Waiting. Lurking even.
Yeah. Hoping for the attention that I would give it some 7 years later.
A part of me suspects that they are aliens that just disguise themselves or luckily look like weaves. And they're just here, hiding in plain sight.
That would be good. Also expand the theory. You know how hair doesn't go away when you die.
Mm-hmm.
That's just basically what happens. You open any casket and you just see like a weave and like a skeleton.
Uh-huh.
Suppose we're all just basically controlled by these people, whomever they are.
That's creepy. That's creepy. Mm-hmm. But my brain was so powerful it got rid of mine. It rejected
That's
my
why
alien weave.
That's why all the bald people are smarter.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's how that goes.
And then look at certain people, like Einstein's hair was fucking wild.
Yeah.
That's why he was so smart. He was fucking alien.
No, yeah, he developed a symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic relationship with his
With the hair. This is starting
extraterrestrial.
This is starting to make sense. This is why Lincoln had to be put down. That hat was full of hair. Mm-hmm. He was one of the more powerful hairs.
Right. Actually, he had two. One on the chin, one on the...
True. Yeah, it had escaped the hat at that point and simply had to be stopped. That's why he was shot through the hair.
That's why Clinton was so great, you know? Why he was so able to get around breaking rules and he could outsmart people.
Yeah.
He had one in his head and one in his crotch.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a powerful one.
Yeah, that one was... The crotch dwellers are among the most fearsome and conniving.
JFK, for instance, shot through the hair.
Uh-huh.
He was just a victim. He was an innocent bystander. Right. It was the hair they really needed gone.
Yep.
It had gotten too uppity.
And let's look at Teddy and Chappaquiddick. It wasn't really his fault. It was the hair.
Yeah.
It was always the hair.
Yeah.
God. I'm glad we can't be canceled. This is the dumbest conversation anyone has ever had. I feel like somewhere out there is a 1990s sci-fi channel executive who is hearing this and going, "Oh, that would have been gold.
Brilliant.
It could have played on Saturday afternoon."
Yeah. This is the unfortunate mess that is Trump's hair. It's just part hair trying to fold over and pretend it's a full hair.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I'm going to call it, man.
This is why we respect Lex Luthor so much, though. He got rid of all of his hair. He's full human.
Yeah. And all of his toupees in the Donner version were just dead weave aliens.
He's just wearing the skins of his fucking enemies at this point, you know?
Yeah. Those were trophies.
Yeah, trophies, yeah.
He figured it out.
Fucking alpha shit. Cancel us, Dave.
All right. Thank you for listening to the final episode of DC on Screen. We won't be back. No, we probably will. We'll probably be back around. I assume. Not
enough
until
here
next
to stop
time.
us.
Not over here, there's not.
And I cut mine short some time ago.
It's not that short.
It was growing too powerful.
Until next time, keep some DC on your screen.
Rip, Matthew. Rip.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for listening to DC on Screen. Our theme song is by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford of Galactic Engineers. The incidental music is by Michael Shackelford and Kevin MacLeod. You can rate the show on Spotify or rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Doing that really helps push our show to new listeners, so your help would be much appreciated. You can also contact the show at DC On Screen on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or email us at dconscreen@gmail.com. To become a patron and get ad-free episodes and exclusive content, go to patreon.com/DCOnScreen. Your reviews and feedback may end up on a future episode of DC On Screen. DC On Screen is a production of maladjusted.tv in association with Stranded Panda. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever damn platform you use.